Hello guys, welcome to another FIFA 19 video, and in this video I'm going to be talking to you guys about all the leagues and all the teams that are involved in FIFA 19, and we have an official confirmation. Obviously I uploaded a video of the beta a couple of weeks ago or a month ago, and there were lots of questions like, is there going to be a Brazil in the game, Croatia in the game, what teams are going to be in the rest of the world, like Red Star Belgrade and teams that have qualified for the Europa League, are they going to be part of the game? Is there going to be a Brazilian league or South Korea? So today we have the answers for that. So here is the full list of leagues and clubs available to play in FIFA 19 upon release. So Argentina, the Primera Division, if I'm sure that's what this is called. And as you can see, I'm not going to pronounce each team's name, but we've got Buenos Aires, well, if that's correct. There, significantly or interestingly, they have that 2 stars there. So what does that mean? That means that the teams have generic kits and crests, but authentic players unless otherwise noted. So I'm guessing by generic kits kits and crests, that means they have a fake kit and a fake badge, but the players that are used, they're actually legitimate. I think so. That's what it means. I'm sure. Cologne Defensa. All right. Let's carry on scrolling down, give you guys enough time to read, just before anybody says I take too much, to do it too quickly. Sorry if I do actually. Anybody that stands out there, River Plate or Plate, I'm sure I've heard their name before. And then we have Vélez Sarsfield, the last team there. So Australia, we've got the Hyundai A League, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we've got 10 teams in the Hyundai A League from Australia. Obviously, we've got the some good teams in here. Melbourne City. So now moving on to Austria and the old Bundesliga. We have quite a few teams in here. I think it's 12 or 3, 7, 10, 11, 12. Yep. So we have 12 teams in there. Lots of guys have been asking, can you play with SK Rapid Wien? I will definitely try and do that as soon as the game is released. And an interesting note is apparently there's a new like point system in Austria, or the way it works. So will that be implemented in the career mode? It would be interesting to find out, certainly. So we've got the Belgium, and we've got the Pro League. Let's see. Got quite a few teams in here. We've got both the Bruges clubs. Got obviously the famous team in Anderlecht, Standard Liège. So we've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 teams in the Pro League from Belgium. And now is the next one, if I'm sure it's correct, is the big question, or not the big one, but it's one of the big questions that people have been asking, is Brazil. Is Brazil going to be part of the game? Or obviously not the national team, but is there going to be the Liga de Brazil? And obviously this is our answer. Brazilian clubs will launch with generic player names and will not be included in FIFA Ultimate Team. We'll update all FIFA 19 fans about player names when and if information becomes available. So we went. So what I'm guessing by that is they don't have the license for the actual Liga do Brazil, so they're just going to use some fake names, or the actual players' names. They're probably going to change it about a bit, I'm guessing. And they're not going to be part of Ultimate Team as well. So that's fascinating. But let's just see what teams. Obviously, if you guys are familiar with the Brazilian teams, we obviously this team don't know how to pronounce them. Obviously, went through that tragic incident, and I remember they were part of Ultimate Team. So obviously, it looks like FIFA have recently lost their license for the Brazilian Liga de Brazil. Got Chile from the Camp Scotia Bank, and we got quite a few teams here as well. CD Palestino, obviously CD Vinazor has the 2 stars. So what does that mean? Like we mentioned before, that generic crests and kits, but the players should be authentic. And then obviously quite a few teams here, so yeah. And then now the second question, I think I've scrolled down a bit too much, was is the Chinese Super League going to be part of the game? Obviously when I released that beta, or when I released the beta, everybody was going on, it's not part of the game. EA managed to get a deal for that after the beta was released, so we have the Chinese Super League here. And I'm guessing they will be part of the Ultimate Team as well, so we should be able to get some players like Paulinho and stuff like that. So that's all the teams from China, the Shanghai, and then Shandong. Yeah, alright, so that's all the teams from the Chinese Super League. Then we have Colombia, the Liga de Mayor, and obviously they have looks like quite a few teams, so we're gonna have to scroll up again there. Just look at the top 2, Petrolera, America de Cali, and let's scroll down a bit more. And that's all the teams there that are part of the Colombian League. So interesting, nice. Denmark Superliga, and we have obviously some, I think Bromby, they're a good team. I think I've done a video with them on the beta winning the Champions League, if I'm sure. So guys, if you're a Bromby fan, then check that out. And apart from that, we now move on to England, and obviously we all know all the teams from the Premier League are involved in the game. So we don't really need to go into too much detail for that. The EFL Championship, yeah, again, that should be obvious. All the teams in there, Sheffield United, obviously the new boys, Swansea City and West Brom and Stoke City, all part of the Championship. EFL League One, these are all the teams in the League One. Then we got League Two, Bury, Cambridge City, Carlisle United, and finishing off with Tranmere and Yeovil. So we've got France, we've got the Liga Conforama, and obviously if I'm sure, or if I'm correct, FIFA actually have the package for the Liga Conforama, meaning the way it's actually displayed when you watch it on TV, so you can it's displayed like that on FIFA now. If I'm sure Liga has it. Serie A does have it anyway. So we have Monaco, Paris Saint-Germain, Olympique Marseille, and then Domino's League 2, and they have all these teams in there, starting with AC Ajaccio, FC SM, Redlands FC, Red Star FC, Germany Bundesliga, obviously, Dortmund, Dusseldorf, Bayern Munich as well in there, Hoffenheim, obviously in the Champions League this season. Now we have the Bundesliga 2, so the big question is, do we have the Bundesliga 3? Or it's not called Bundesliga, it's called Liga 3, something along those lines, because in the beta they weren't part of it, or I didn't actually check that out properly. So we'll find the answer out to that. Obviously Cologne in Bundesliga 2, and one more good team in there as well. What's Hamburg? That's the one. So them two are in Bundesliga 2, and we do have the 3 Liga, or 3 Liga, whatever you want to call it, with 1860 Munchen in there. So we've got quite a few teams in there. Wurzburg, and then we've got Ireland, who have their Electricity League. Only a few teams though. Interesting. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Okay, and the other question was Italy. Do they have the Serie A license. They used to be called Calcio A before, and obviously they do Serie A. I'm guessing that Ronaldo's move had a big impact on that. And Inter, Juventus, obviously, Lazio, Milan, Napoli, so some big teams in there, Roma, and I'm guessing in terms of Ultimate Team, Italian teams are going to be expensive this year. We've got the Calcio B, so interestingly, no licensing for the Calcio B, so it's not Serie B, it's Calcio B. Obviously, lots of teams with the 2 stars here, so that means fake kits and, well, not fake, generic kits and crests, but authentic players. So quite a few there. Looks like they don't have license at all. Crotone 1 and Hellas Verona. Japan. So yeah, that we already confirmed that in the beta. Andres Iniesta obviously moving there. Fernando Torres moving there. So we have quite a few players here. And Korea Republic, that was a big question. We didn't have that in the beta, if I'm sure. So we do have the Korea Republic and the K-League part of the FIFA, and obviously we've got quite a few teams here. 10, 11, 12, 13 teams there. So now moving on to the next big question: men's national team. Is Brazil going to be part of it? Is Croatia, the finalists of the World Cup, going to be part of FIFA 19? Let's find out. Let's go. Drum roll, please. Argentina, Australia, Austria. That B is coming up soon. Austria with a 2-star. So Belgium, Bolivia with a 2-star. Is Brazil going to be there? Brazil, authentic kits and badges. Generic players aside from Neymar Jr. So that is interesting. So from that, what I get is that the players are going to be fake, generic. I'm sure that's what it means. Apart from Neymar Jr. Wow. Bulgaria, Cameroon, Canada, Chile, is Croatia here, Colombia. Again, lots of 2-stars. Ivory Coast, we'll just call them. Generic kits and badges, mix of authentic and generic players. Okay. Czech Republic and no Croatia. Wow. The finalists of last year in the World Cup do not get themselves into FIFA 19. I don't know how, but wow. Denmark, Ecuador, Egypt, England, Finland, obviously again quite a few 2-stars in there, and we know what that means. India, wow, how they got in there. Obviously they've been in there for a while. We have New Zealand, Paraguay, Peru, Slovenia, South Africa, Uruguay, Venezuela, Wales, Mexico, Liga, Bancomer, America, Atlas. So we know. Let's just scroll down and you guys can have a read yourselves. Quite a few teams there. Veracruz finishing that list. Santos Laguna, Netherlands. So the Eredivisie. I'm sure that's wrong. So Ajax in there, obviously, they're one of the big teams. We have, that doesn't look like a lot of teams. PSV, Feyenoord. So that's all the teams from the Netherlands League. Only the Eredivisie or Divies in there. Norway also managed to get themselves in the game. Not sure if they were part of it before, but that's a good couple of teams there as well. Starting with FK Bodo Glimt and finishing with Valerenga. And Poland get themselves in the game as well. Legia Warszawa. I'm sure they're part of the Champions League, possibly. So they've got themselves in there. Portugal, Liga Nos have been in there. Porto, obviously, part of one of the big teams. Benfica as well. So now is the second big question: is rest of the world teams. One of the big questions, I think, Dynamo Kiev. There was another team, there was Red Star Belgrade that everybody was asking about. There was, I think, VDFC that are in the same group as Chelsea or Arsenal. So they were lots of, everybody was asking about them. So here's your answer, and unfortunately we have some bad news for some of you. Adidas All-Star, AEK Athens, CSK Moscow, Dynamo Zagreb, that's the one, lots of people asking about them, and Dynamo Kiev, but these two were obviously, we found out from Twitter that they were in the game. Lokomotiv Moscow, again another team that we found out from Twitter. Olympiacos, we already knew that from the beta. Slavia Praha, that weren't there. Sparta Praha as well. Lots of people were saying to me, why is Slavia Praha, not in the game? This beta is fake. But obviously that deal was done after the beta was done. Spartak Moscow, Victoria Pleasant, again, they're in the Champions League, so their deal was done later on. But we're still looking for Red Star Belgrade, who are part of the Champions League. And unfortunately they are not part of the game. I don't know how they're going to do the Champions League mode like without them. I would have thought they would have at least put them in the game and done that non-generic player thing, but it looks like they don't have it at all. We've got the Saudi Arabia, gone up a bit too much, Saudi Arabia, Arabia Professional League there. And then we've got the Scottish League, Aberdeen, Celtic, obviously Rangers in there, Hearts in there. I'm sure that's not going to be the full league. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I am sure the SPL is not 12 teams, so that's interesting. If that's how it's been, from FIFA 18, whatever. Wow. Spain, obviously have, I think, the full everybody in there, including Madrid, Atletico, Barca. We also have the La Liga 1, 2, 3 as well. Malaga FC, CF, sorry, is stand out there. Osasuna, Las Palmas, and then we have Sweden, Sweden as well. Malmo, I think, where Zlatan started off. Hammarby, that's one of the ones I did a video on, winning the Champions League. So if you guys want to check that out. Switzerland, obviously, yeah, it was a big question whether Switzerland were part of the game, because I don't remember mentioning them in the beta. So we have Young Boys, who are part of the Champions League. We have Basel, Grasshopper Club, FC Zurich, Turkey, and then obviously we have Galatasaray in there, part of the Champions League this year. US or Canada, so the MLS. Got LA Galaxy. I think I'm going a bit too fast, sorry guys. Atlanta, so if you guys just want to pause the video and have a look at it before I end up going too fast. Philadelphia, Real Salt Lake, SJ Earthquakes, and then we have, I think the last league is women's national teams, and Brazil, just like the male counterparts, and I don't think that makes sense, just like the male team, also have generic players involved. So yeah, that's all the teams. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and hope to see you guys next time.